We ready? Good. Everyone good? Yeah. Excellent. My name is Lieutenant Cummings of the Connecticut State Police, Katecummings. At approximately 3:27 a.m., Norwich Police Department received an ATM alarm call from a local bank. A suspect vehicle was seen leaving the area and entered 395 South. Troopers from Troop E, Montville, and Troop K, Colchester, followed the vehicle, which traveled onto Route 2, Route 3, 91, and eventually the suspect vehicle traveled the wrong way on northbound I-91, exit 26 off-ramp, and stopped. At this point, 2 occupants fled the scene on foot. Members of the Rocky Hill Police Department, Connecticut State Police Troop K, and Troop H, Hartford and Colchester, established a perimeter. Additional resources utilized during the multi-hour search for the suspects included canine teams, State Police Aviation Section utilizing a fixed air wing, and drones. Canine teams across the area tracked for approximately 10 miles over the course of several hours this morning. An off-duty Rocky Hill sergeant observed the suspects walking near Old Main Street in Rocky Hill. Those 2 suspects were then taken into custody without incident or injury to the suspect or any police personnel on scene. The suspects are identified as Mark Francis Chi Yu, date of birth 7/22/98, and Uris Tejada, date of birth 12/27/92. Tejada is known to police and has an extensive criminal history. The suspects were transported to Troop H, Hartford, for arrest processing. They are being charged with interfering and several motor vehicle charges at this time. Although the scene is safe and secure, the investigation is ongoing and more charges will be forthcoming from Norwich Police Department. There is no threat to the public at this time. This is an example of a highly complex, multi-jurisdictional investigation with a successful outcome. I will turn it over to Norwich Police Department at this time for more information.
Hi, Sergeant Scott Meikle, SCOTTMEIKLE. Shortly after 3 o'clock this morning, received a call from the alarm company reporting a heat alarm bank from the Berkshire Bank located at 108 Salem Turnpike in Norwich. Officers responded to the scene. Upon arrival, they observed a vehicle at the back of the bank and subjects fleeing from the back of the bank to the vehicle. The vehicle then fled the scene, engaged our officers in pursuit onto I-395 southbound, where they turned their headlights off, where our officer lost sight of the vehicle, and they continued on. And they were picked up eventually by Montville and Troop E.
We will have press releases on our website later this morning, and that's all we'll be discussing at this time.
Will they being processed in some courthouse or something today?
They're being processed at Troop H currently.
Will they go to Hartford Superior, or where will they be going next?
Norwich Police Department will eventually have additional charges. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what the suspect with the last name Tejada was known to police for?
He had an extensive criminal history, and that's all we'll say at this time.
Anything when they get to the bank? Anything at the bank? Was it bank entered? Was it just a robbery of an ATM?
So they attempted to pry into the ATM.
Okay, all right. So damage.
So at the rear of the bank, there's a drive-up ATM. They attempted to use pry bars to pry the bank ATM open to gain access to the safe inside the ATM, but they were unsuccessful in doing so.
They weren't holding anybody, forcing
No.
anybody to
No.
numbers. Okay.
Correct.
Are you seeing a trend in crimes where burglars are trying to break into ATMs?
Someone want to take that? Chief?
We're not. We don't have any experience with this. Not anything recent, no.
State police, have you seen anything around the state?
Go ahead, Captain.
Captain Chad Gomez, CHADGOMEZ. I mean, as always, we investigate multiple incidents throughout the state. So this is not unusual type of attempt for what the state police is considered, seeing. We do have several active investigations that are relative to the one we dealt with last night.
You think they're connected?
We're not ruling it out, but like you said, it's an open investigation, so we're definitely not ruling it out.
Any other questions?
Anything else on the other guy? No history for the other guy?
Not at this time. No?
Could you spell their names again, please?
First suspect is Mark Francis Chi-Yu. It's CHEE-YOU, date of birth 7/22/98. And the second suspect is Uris Tejada. That's EURISTEJADA, date of birth 12/27/92.
Were there any towns that they reside in, or?
We're not disclosing that at this time.
It's Mark with a K.
Yes. Excellent. All right, that's all. We'll have the press release up later today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.